All right, we trying to knock them out, man. Welcome back to Football is Money. I'm your host, They Call Me Boss. At this point, the game has already changed, right? The risk disappears. We know the pace slows. We know the mistakes get louder. But the biggest shift in the playoffs doesn't happen on the field. It happens inside the people playing the game. Because pressure doesn't just affect outcomes, it affects decisions. And today we're breaking down that pressure factor, why it shows up, who it affects the most, and why playoff football exposes the mental side of the sport more than any other moment of the season. This is the pressure factor. Let's go. All right. Number one, pressure is not evenly distributed. Not everyone feels playoff pressure the same way. That's the first thing to understand, right? Pressure finds quarterbacks before anyone else. And then right after that, it's coaches and everyone else based on responsibility. If the ball runs through you, pressure lives with you. Quarterbacks feel it because every decision is visible, every mistake is replayed, every hesitation gets magnified. Coaches feel it because one call can undo a season. Timeouts, fourth down, play selection, all of that. In the playoffs, there's no such thing as we'll fix it next week. Pressure isn't about noise, it's about consequence. Remember that. And the closer you are to consequence, the heavier the pressure gets. And let's go on to the next point. Why stars sometimes disappear. Okay, so this is one of the strangest things about playoff football is watching stars go quiet. Not because they forget how to play or run routes to catch the ball or throw the ball, but because the environment changes. Defenses targets the stars first. Schemes are built to remove primary options. The windows get smaller. But there's another layer. Stars carry expectation. They're expected to save games, to erase the mistakes, to be the answer. And sometimes their weight slows decision making. That's when you see hesitation, forced throws, misreads. Pressure doesn't make players worse, it makes everything slower. And in the playoffs, slow is punished. Now let's go with experience versus urgency. Playoff pressure creates a tension between experience and urgency, right? Veteran teams slow the game down. They understand the moment. They manage emotions. Inexperienced teams feel the clock. They feel the crowd. They feel the weight of the moment. Urgency can be powerful, but it can also be reckless. That's why playoff games often swing late. Not because talent changes, but because emotional control does. Pressure doesn't always show up early. It shows up when the margin is thin and the moment gets real. All right? So when you're watching these playoff games, I want you to think about everything that we've been going over, right? Because the playoffs don't just test football ability. They test decision making, emotional control, mental endurance. Pressure doesn't break everyone the same way. Some players rise because they've been here before. Some teams steady themselves. Some moments swallow people whole, and that's when the playoffs stop being about games and start being about legacy. Because when the pressure decides outcome, history decides remembrance, not yards, not stats, not narratives, moments. That's the final layer. And we're going to dive into that a little bit more on the next episode. I'm your host, They Call Me Boss. This is Football is Money. And keep watching with us, man. Click the next video.